Have you ever seen a bread having fungus on it? And especially these days when there is a lot of moisture in the air and warmth. So, what is that? Have you ever wondered about it? It is the rhizopus or the bread mold. So, today we'll be talking about the asexual reproduction in the case of bread mold or the rhizopus. It's a very common example to demonstrate the asexual reproduction and the reproduction method in this by the formation of spores. Now, when we see the structure of the rhizopus or the bread mold, the structure is the rhizopus is a filamentous structure and it has branched hyphae. The hyphae are the branch structures which you see over here, and the spores are produced in the sporangium. So these rounded bodies which you find at the end are the sporangium, and these sporangium carry the spores. Now the spores have a protective coat. This is the outermost coat which is protective in nature, and this enables the rhizopus or the fungi to survive during the unfavorable conditions. Now what is meant by unfavorable conditions? Unfavorable conditions are those conditions which are extreme and which do not allow the organism to grow properly. So it can be lack of moisture, it can be lack of nutrients, not sufficient amount of nutrients are available, and thirdly, extreme temperature. So these three are the unfavorable conditions. So when the spores are there, they will be well protected and no harm is done to the individual. Now on the return of the favorable condition, the spores which are freed after the bursting of the sporangium, you can see over there, the spores come out after the sporangium has burst. So when it bursts, it releases spores, and these spores land on the favorable environment, and then they tend to grow and develop more individuals. Now what can be the possible advantage of this method, that is the spore formation? First and foremost, the most important advantage is a large number of spores are formed within one sporangium. So the chances of survival is multifold. That means a lot of individuals are produced by the formation of the spores. Also, these spores can be dispersed easily and they can travel far and wide. So no specific mechanism is required by these spores to be dispersed. Soon after the bursting of the sporangium, they can be carried far off, and wherever they land, if the conditions are favorable, they will tend to germinate. The favorable conditions, of course, will be availability of the moisture and the availability of the nutrients. And also, the protective coat which is present around these sporangium help them to withstand unfavorable conditions. So spore formation is a very common practice, and it is found in many organisms, many plant organisms, to withstand the unfavorable conditions and to develop new individuals. Now, apart from spore formation, fission and all those, there is another type of technique which is known as tissue culture. Now, a tissue culture is a technique in which the new plants are grown by separating cells from the growing tip of a plant. You know, the tip of the plant has meristematic tissues, and these meristematic tissues are capable of multiplying very rapidly. So what happens is, in this technique of tissue culture, we take the a part or a portion of the growing stem or the tip of a plant, and then they are placed in the artificial medium. Artificial medium contains all the nutrients and the favorable conditions such as temperature, etc., and they are allowed to grow rapidly to form a small group of cells. So when the conditions are favorable, in that the culture medium, that is the stem or that is the growing tip is removed, and in the culture medium they are grown, the growing cells, and these growing cells grow in culture medium to form callus. Callus is nothing but a group of cells which are artificially developed, and then the callus is then transferred to another medium containing hormones. So this callus is transferred to another medium, and this medium has to be different types of phytohormones or the plant hormones. These phytohormones help in differentiation, that we have studied that after the meristematic cells are formed, these cells, depending upon what kind of function they need to perform, they get differentiated and modify themselves into different structural types so as to perform specific functions. So similarly, these the artificially grown cells, that is known as callus, is transferred to another medium carrying the phytohormones, and this initiates the differentiation, and the cells then acquire the different functional capacities, and the plants are then, the plants which have come up from these cells then are transferred or they are transplanted to the soil where they can be grown. Now this technique is a very useful one because we can develop many plants from this, and it is very common in the case of developing ornamental, and ornamental means decorative plants. So tissue culture is comparatively a technique which is scientific, and it is used extensively in culturing various types of plants.